host, Peter Komendowski, and welcome to Surviving Bad, where we explore stories of survival, hope, and inspiration. Today we're talking about inspiring young people, the North Iowa Youth Center in Mason City, and its director, Regan Banks. In my travels throughout Iowa, meeting so many compassionate people that care for children and families, sometimes a name comes up enough times that I realize that there's something special going on and we need to share. Regan Banks is changing the world and strengthening the community one child at a time, and that's an interesting story. Welcome to the show, Regan. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Peter, for having me. I sure appreciate it. I'm Regan Banks, and I work at B.G. Clark, a correctional facility right here in Mason City, Iowa. I'm married to Annette Banks for 33 years. We have 4 children, 15 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren. And I love to be part of the community by giving back to others and helping, leaving a smile behind. And I've been running the North Iowa Youth Center now for 24 years. This year on July 7th, we will celebrate our 25th anniversary.
Now tell us about how this idea got started for the Youth Center.
Well, I was a pool manager right here in Mason City for about 8 years. And I received a phone call from the YMCA, Mason City YMCA, Family YMCA, I should say. And they contacted me and wanted me to come and visit with them about a program that they were looking to implement at the YMCA. And so I met with them and they gave me some ideas what they were looking for and who they were looking for, since I have worked with so many kids out there. And they wanted to call it the YMCA Teen Leadership Program. And this is back in July 7th of 1998, quite a few years ago. And I looked at what they have given me and bought back what I could give them. And we started this program again on July 7th. And we started out with 14 kids, and overall, we have implemented over probably 8,000 kids now through this program called the YMCA Teen Leadership. We have got so large, in 2005, the YMCA asked me to join another program and move on our own when we called it, revamped it, and we called it the North Iowa Youth Center.
So what are the kind of programs you do with youth, and what age of youth do you work with?
We work with ages 5 to 8-year-olds. We call them the little angels. We work with the 9, 10, 11-year-olds. We call them the junior teens. And then 12 and older, we call them the Teen Leadership Program. And we give them the program called after-school programs, mentoring, tutoring. We have basketball teams. We have softball teams. We have basketball teams. So we have a lot of programs the kids can get involved in the summertime. And then when we help them during the school time, we help them with the tutoring program and our reading program.
You know, it's a fascinating story because you have basically a full-time job.
Correct.
And then a second full-time job.
Correct.
And then you're a man of faith with a lot of involvement in the faith community and a huge network of people that essentially you serve. Where
Correct.
do you get all that energy?
Well, first of all, I thank God that gives me this opportunity. Kind of go way back when I first come here to Mason City about 30-something years ago. I was involved with drugs and alcohol. And when I turned my life around for not going into the prison system, I wanted something to give back to young kids. And it was a program just what the YMCA had called me on. And it was a great, perfect timing for me to come into the Y, share this program, what I went through, and then give to young kids to say no to drugs and alcohol and violence. And but I give it all credit to God to put me where I'm at today in this position.
Now, what helped you personally turn around from living in a world of drugs and alcohol?
Well, most of all, it was always out there taken from others and stealing, robbing, lying to get my fix and getting high and so forth. Again, when I finally let go and let God run my life, and give back. When I moved to Mason City, I wanted to change my playground and playmates so that I can give back. And I did that by following what he gave me is another chance of life. And when I got involved in church, I became the deacon. I became a Sunday school superintendent, and I came involved with the community and church life. And then when the Y called me, their faith base is also with church through the YMCA. And that was perfect timing to give back.
Well, that's a great beginning of the story. We're going to take a short break. We come back. We're going to continue our conversation with the amazing Regan Banks. See you all after the break. You don't want to miss this.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Peter Komendowski, and you're joining us on Surviving Bad, where we're talking about the North Iowa Youth Center and the passion of its director, Regan Banks. He has a tremendous passion for inspiring youth, but there are challenges, and let's learn a little bit more about the challenges he faces. Regan?
Well, the challenges I faced, Peter, growing up was being in the wrong path of life of gangs, drugs, different things that lifestyle that drugs and gangs take you to. And the most important thing is easy to get into gangs, but it's tough to get out, is because what we know and what we went through during that time when I was living in California. When I moved back to Iowa, I was raised by a single parent, my mother, Levita, which she is now passed and in heaven. I have a sister and two brothers. They all passed, and I'm the youngest, and I'm the only one left. So I had to face a lot of challenges where I didn't have that positive role model in my life. The boys club is where I was raised up through the boys club, growing up, playing basketball, playing sports, stayed in school. And then more challenges came with me when I graduated from West High in Sioux City. But what I do now and giving back to help others through the North Iowa Youth Center, it kind of looks at where I was and where I am now. And I thank God that he changed my life around to be lifted up, to give back, to help others, to leave a smile behind.
Are there still risks in our communities for young kids growing up in terms of gangs, drugs, and violence? Is this still an emerging problem for us in Iowa?
Well, I don't think it's really a huge worry here in Iowa. You have the small little say-so gangs or little groupies, and I don't think Iowa has a big gang thing going on. You have your groups. They call them little cliques, or they call them different, like I said, groupies. But I wouldn't say there is.
One thing that's often brought up when we speak to former gang members is that they talk about the fact that they grew up in a world lacking family and support, and that's what they found in the gang, was in a sense a family, which in many ways trumped what they were doing. In other words, their ability to judge right and wrong, because it's a deep emotional need for somebody to feel a belonging. And when people talk about your work in Mason City, they really talk about how you target those needs in kids and build a sense of belonging and faith, and you work with their families and their parents. I mean, you really are not, you're not limited to people that walk in the door. You take your mission out into the community. What are you seeing in terms of the rewards from that with kids? By now you've got graduates from your program, so to speak.
Well, some of the gang members are correct. Their family, when you get into a gang, you got people you can lean on, you could count on, people that are going to be there, people are going to be by your side, and people that you say you care for. But it's a different type of life of a gang life and a family life, a home life. A home life is more of a mom and dad and brother and sister, uncle and aunt and cousins and so forth. My mission is when I changed that all around was to go out into the community. And as the Bible tells us, to preach the gospel to every creature, I go out and try to give the respect, caring, honesty, and responsibility to the young kids and how to give back for them to say no to drugs and alcohol and violence, how to turn their cheek from someone that's going to bully them or try to give them drugs and try to enforce it. It's like a broken record. When we say the record's broken, you say it over and over and over so you can instill it into their brain so they'll stay away from the drugs and alcohol and the bullying. So that's my mission through the North Iowa Youth Center, is to give them the values that we miss from the home life, that we receive from the gang life. And now I instill it in the kids to live the right way of life of living.
Now, what are some of the key partners you have in the community that join you on this mission?
There's a lot of people that's going to impact what we say here today and what they can receive from this. Every time that you say something or give something or see something, you hope that it impacts your life and how you can change your life around.
How about parents? I mean, are you seeing a lot of engagement with parents once they know their kids have a safe place to go?
That's a tough part there, Peter. I wish I could see more parents involved. You know what I'm really seeing? Grandparents raising their kids and taking their kids to sports and taking their kids, dropping them off at the youth center. There are parents that are involved, but you would like to see more parents involved than just drop off. Stop, stay for a while. See who I am. See what we're doing as our staff, so you understand how we run our program through the North Iowa Youth Center.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to take another short break, and we're going to ask Regan to share some stories about his safe places for children and changing the world. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Not all internet is priced this good. Switch to Extreme and go super fast for as low as $19.99 a month for a year. Oh yeah, hook up your home with powerful Wi-Fi, 99.99% reliability, and speeds that are FCC proven to be faster than advertised. Not all internet is priced this good. Switch today and get speeds starting at 100 meg for as low as $19.99 a month for a year. Call 844-EXTREME2 for details.
Welcome back to Surviving Bad. I'm your host, Peter Komendowski, and we're talking with Regan Banks, a tireless worker, a man of faith, a builder of a legacy that not only empowers young Iowans, but inspires other leaders throughout Iowa. Regan, you do so much. Share some of these things that you do through the church and other things in the community that benefits our Mason City area.
Yeah, again, Peter, I give all credit to God, my higher power. I thank my church, New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church out of Manly. I thank all the pastors and the deacons that I followed under. I just lost a great man that was my mentor Deacon Willis Haddix through New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church that really gave me the training to be a follower of God and to go out in the community to preach the gospel to every creature. Doing the Sunday school that I teach every Sunday. We're open at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings at 814 North Grant and Manley. 11 o'clock is our worship service. And being a superintendent and knowing what God wants me to do and how to give back to young kids, how to give back to the community, how to give back to families. I go out and do a lot of fundraising for families that are in need. I go out and do funeral services, work for Hogan Bremer that's in need, that people who cannot pay hardly to fulfill their family to lay to rest. If someone wants to get married, I fulfill that as marrying a couple to be happily married, happily life with the family. So I really give back to community based on through my Christian life, and just to help them to leave that smile. A great resource is who I am through the North Iowa Youth Center, through New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church. So if you like some help or some guidance, feel free to give me a call at any time.
You know, I've followed you on Facebook, and I honestly can't keep up with you. You have more things going on that I felt guilty asking you to do a show because I didn't know how you'd be able to squeeze it in. There's got to be a tremendous feeling of goodness working with these kids. What are some, do you have any stories without naming names that you can share about some kids that have really turned a corner working with you?
Oh, Peter, I can be on here all day long. So many stories. One of the stories is three couples, young people that went through the North Iowa Youth Center, never ever knew each other when they're 7 or 8 years old, or what their age was. Going back, looking into the pictures after I get to what I'm talking about, is that these kids played together. When they got older, they met each other later down the line, and I end up marrying them. And the stories come as being in the program, growing up, going different directions, coming back, meeting each other again, calling on me to marry them. Look back, and I have already been part of their life when they were younger. What a story. And then sometimes I'll walk into a grocery store, or some of them have their own bands. And coming up this year, Peter, we're going to be celebrating our 25th anniversary. And I have two young people that are going to be playing in their band that went through the North Iowa Youth Center, playing for our 25th anniversary on July 7th of 2023 this year. And the story is remarkable. When I see that, you know what makes that make me feel? Empathy. It makes me feel great to be part of someone's life, watching them grow up and turn their life around and be productive in the community and for their families.
That's just a fantastic story. You know, when you are, I mean, there's also sad things that happen.
Oh,
And you work in an institution that's sort of emblematic full time of the sad things that happen in our culture. Do you share some of your voice and message at work during the day?
Oh, yes, definitely. When we sit down and have our one-on-ones, when we have our men's meeting or the women's meeting, I get to share that with one-on-ones with the young men and women, and let them know what I did and what I went through. I was already in their shoes, what they faced for being locked up or being in jail or facing drug charges. I wish I could have Judge Michael S. Walsh out of Sioux City. He was the chief judge. He had went back into deliberate when I was facing time. And he said, Mr. Banks, I'm going to give you one more chance. And that was my third strike. Normally, your third strike is, we all know, you get time. And he said, Mr. Banks, I'm going to give you one more chance. And you know, today, Peter, he is now one of my sponsors for the North Iowa Youth Center. Now, that's a story for you.
That's an amazing story. All right, we're going to take another short break, and we're going to ask Regan to share some final comments, insights, and inspiration. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Today, more than ever, you need fast, reliable internet. At Mediacom, we want you to know you can count on us. Our fiber-powered 100% gigabit technology network was built for the future. We have enormous capacity and power and 99.99% network reliability. So even though these are uncertain times, we're prepared. And you can be certain we'll keep your world connected.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back. Today on Surviving Bad, we're talking about a community leader, a youth center, and a mission to inspire youth. Let's see what insights, advice, and inspiration Regan has to share. Regan, the podium is yours.
Well, thanks again, Peter, for having me here today. I just want to brief the North Iowa Youth Center. I just want to give you our hours real quick. We're open Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 to 7, 138 5th Street Southwest, right here in Mason City. It's $2 for kids and $20 a year for a membership. But based on what I really want to talk to the parents out there in the community and the nation is hold on to each other. It's mercy and grace that brought us through to where we're at today and myself. If it wasn't for me turning my life over to God and giving God all my wrongdoings and try to make amends to all the ones out there I harmed and endangered, it's getting me through to what I went through, the bad things I did. Today is my life and my reputation is giving back to help others, to leaving a smile behind. So with God's grace and mercy, he got me through to help these many young people, families, communities, the nation, my church family. So if I can give and I can help others, and what God has done for me, he can do for you. If we stop doing the wrong things that we're doing out there and try to lift a hand and help another person, which is our neighbor. Our neighbor could be down the street, down the block, or 5 miles away, or right next door to you. It's helping each other to lift a hand. So hold on to each other. Days are short. Life is short. We're not promised tomorrow. There's a saying that I always give to young kids and families. Share your dreams. Treasure your blessings. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised to you or to me. Live for the day and be the best that you can be. Live that life to the legacy that your young kids, your family, your community, your neighbor will always remember you by. And them are memories. Love one another. Hug one another. Tell them that you love them. Don't be afraid to send them a message, a card, or a hug from someone. Life is short. So let's remember each other by the way that we protect ourselves and give to help our communities and our young kids. Let our young kids know that it's wrong to curse, use drugs, alcohol, and violence, and bullying. So let's let our young kids live the life that they want to live and live out their dreams. I thank you so much for God to give me this opportunity. I thank you, Peter, again, for being on the platform to give our community what I have done and where I'm at today. So God bless you, and may God keep you and live another day. God bless.
What a powerful message, Regan. I thank you very much. You know, let me ask you a question. Because we see so many, you know, at one time, you know, we always know that kids growing up on the short end of the stick have a tougher time and they need all the help they can get. But we're seeing more and more kids with two parents stray. We see more mental health issues. And this message for parents is so powerful. And I know Pastor Michael Hurst in Des Moines said once, it's not single parenting that's bad. It's a single parent lacks resources to help them raise their kids. And this is one thing that you do provide and you help with. When we look at all parents and all, why should all people in Iowa, even those that may stigmatize the problems that we have and not look at them, why should all people care about the work of faith and family in our communities?
I think it's number one. God should come first in your life, around your family, work ethic, or anything that we do. God is first. Once we put God first and we take it to the Lord in prayer, and we pray every day, everything that we do, make sure God is in the presence of what you do. You know, I thank God for my wife. I thank God for my children. I thank God for my grandchildren. If it wasn't for them to keep me on the right track, but I still have to know that God's first in my life, and then family, and then friends, and then community, and then nation, and then God's going to lift you to make everything around you right, just with the way that you keep him first in your life.
Regan, thank you so very much for bringing your message to us today. And thank everybody for watching us today. Check out our website, ahealthyiowa.org, and keep your eye on MediaCom MC22 for our next episode of Surviving Bad, where we explore stories of survival, hope, and inspiration. On MediaCom MC22, your local programming leader.